Okay, so then I'll just open it up to you. What's the story of the preseason we're not paying enough attention to that you've been hearing you're interested in?
When I watch these games, and I haven't watched all of them, and a lot of time the video's on, but the audio isn't. When we talk about the dynamic kickoff, I still think there's a good chance that plenty of teams are going to decide, not just halfway through the season. I used to think by halfway through the season they'd get there. It may be as of week 1. I'm not going to be your guinea pig. I'm kicking the ball out of the end zone, and you can start at the 30. Because the NFL had a conference call yesterday, and they said the average field position so far is the 28.7, I believe. It's north of the 28, maybe 28.3, 28.7, somewhere between 28 and 29. So just give up the extra yard and a half and take off the table the risk of a long return, the risk of a touchdown. You know, it's not worth pinning your hopes to something we have no idea how it's going to play out. And I think there will be coaches who, as of week 1, they go through this process during the preseason. But if the NFL doesn't change the touchback point from the 30 to the 35, and all the owners are meeting next Tuesday, there'll be a quorum. They'll be able to, Robert's Rules of Order will be satisfied. They'll be able to move it to the 35 if they want. If they don't, then the question becomes, would they actually change the rules during the season if the dynamic kickoff ends up being a dud? They don't like to change the rules during the season. But yesterday, the NFL didn't rule out any changes at any time, but they said it's not likely for now that it goes from the 30 to the 35. They may feel differently when week 1 rolls around, because I think a lot of teams are just going to say, take the 30, we'll play defense, and we won't risk getting burned for a long touchdown that could cost us a game, that could cost us a playoff spot, that could cost me my job.
Yeah, Sean Payton's already said make it to 35 and you got yourself a better rule. I mean, he's absolutely verbalized that. And a lot of the coaches that have come on this show, I've asked them about it. I think they would agree that it would be a better rule. But in terms of at the end of the game, you know, and you've got a 4-point lead and you're kicking off because you just got a field goal to take a 4-point lead, or you scored a touchdown to take a 4-point lead, screw it. You know, put it on the 30 because you're not giving up a touchdown quickly on somebody creasing the blocking area, right? Like that, and you'd rather just say play 70 yards of defense and go to work if you're a coach.
Yeah, especially if Tyreek Hill's standing back there waiting to receive that kick when you're up 4 points late in the game. And the other benefit too, Rich, and I've heard talk about this, because I think the coaches are keeping their cards close to the vest, because I think they'd like to get through next Tuesday without the touchback point being moved from the 30 to the 35, because then they can implement this plan to just give up the 30. Because if it becomes a 35, then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, now we have to actually kick off. So they'd prefer, I think, the ones who are thinking about kicking out of the end zone would like it to stay at the 30. Another benefit, you don't have to practice kickoff coverage. Just bang it out of the end zone. It's less time you have to devote to the limited time you have to get your team ready to do everything your team has got to be ready to do. We don't have to screw around with kickoff coverage, take that off the table, use our time on other things.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.